Some they call it functional alcoholism, but if you know anything about Ben, he's got vision with precision, microphones and a tinkle of derision. You're about to hear what beer can be. It's time for Barley and me.
Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. This is episode 118. We're here today in West Sacramento, California at Jackrabbit Brewing. With us today, we got the head brewer, Rob Moreno.
Yep. Hello.
And our special guest today, improviser, professor of comedy, it's Justine Lopez.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming out here on a Saturday right after New Year's, you idiots.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I drove in here. I hadn't been here before. I'm going to full disclosure.
Oh, this is your first time?
This is my first time.
This is also my first time.
And your first time, too. This is
Yeah.
like my fifth time in the last 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Man.
I was like, let's see if I can find this place. And my favorite thing is I came around the corner and there's this big painting, Jackrabbit Brewing Company. You can't miss it. Like, nobody has that. It's always such a hard thing to find at a brewery in an industrial place. Like, not us.
Correct.
You'll know.
We want you to know where we're at.
Yeah. Where are you? Oh, you'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you tucked away in these buildings? Yeah, but you'll see it. You can't miss it.
It's like the house on the block that always has the fish on the side, and you're like, oh, I live in the house with the fishes. People are like, what are you talking about? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Gotcha.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3 doors down to the left.
Yeah.
And you're facing it. When you're facing it, 3 to the left of that one. They're like, oh, got it. Yeah, I think that's very cool. It's a great, easy marketing thing. So I imagine you have a lot of delivery drivers in the area. Like, God, this is awful. I need to get away after work. And it's like, boom, right here.
You'd be surprised how many UPS and Amazon and FedEx drivers pull around to the back of the building and ask us if we're somebody else.
Oh.
Every day almost. Are you guys so-and-so solutions?
No.
No, we are Jackrabbit Brewing Company. Said right there on the side of the building.
It's giant. You can't miss it. It's on the door. It's the whole thing. You had to walk in, you missed the sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, when you're delivering to buildings like this, you can't tell which one's like building B. I don't know. Is this building B?
Right.
I mean, that's true, but when you
sometimes the
pull up
signs
to the
are-
back of the building and ask for a window company, and you can see all the giant stainless fermenters in the back,
Well, that's how you make glass, isn't it?
apparently.
You just steam it up, swirl it around, lay it out, cool it down.
Perfect.
Glass.
That's your new business adventure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might get into the glass making business.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been mistaken for it once, so.
And I'm just going to keep with the name Jackrabbit Brewing Company. Yeah.
keep it the same. You know, you can have beers in the front, windows in the back, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe a window in between them.
Hopefully, yeah.
So you can see what the other one's doing.
Exactly.
You need to do it. So get cross-promotional.
Yep.
Put beers up to the window on the other side of the brewery just so they can see it. Like, I know, it's an arduous process picking out the best glass, so come on by and have a beer. It's a different company. It's still me. It's fine.
Write it down.
Yeah. And also, I think you'd make more money in glass because everybody knows you need a new window every, 2-3 times a day. You need a new window.
Correct.
course.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should work for the stunt window,
Oh, now you're onto something.
right?
Yeah. Oh, the breaking. Yeah, just the people that walk by with a window for
Yeah.
no reason. The people smash through.
Yes.
You feel like a lot of that stuff would ship out of Sacramento, or would they have to come up here for it?
Exclusively Sacramento. For our
They're a big stunts-
booming film industry.
Our booming stunts
I-
industry in Sacramento.
Yeah, I think it is coming. Though there've been a few little things like let's try Sacramento for filming, and I think
Yeah.
maybe we'll be a place that people will come for it. And you'll be
Yeah.
ahead of the curve.
Could
You'll
be,
be ready to go.
Could be. I would be ahead of the game.
Yeah, you're like I'm already ready for this. I've got all the stunt glass.
If only Lady Bird had a bunch of stunt scenes.
Yeah, and it was filmed a year from now when Rob's had a chance to get it off the ground.
Lady
Correct,
Bird,
yes. Yeah.
Lady
Yes.
Bird 2, Revenge of Lady Bird.
Excuse me, can you guys refilm this? I didn't have my glass company up and running yet.
Yeah. It's like, did you guys really want to focus on like the hardcore aspect of living in Sacramento? Like, there's like some tough things to do here. You gotta
Right?
get rough and tumble life. You didn't even capture it.
We don't even use doors. We just slam through windows every time we enter a building.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just like see it, like your guys. You have a glass door to get in. I just kick it in.
Right?
I'm like, I'm here. I'm the Kool-Aid man. We're gonna do it.
City of trees. That's how we do it here. Hardcore.
It's like we care about trees. Doors are usually wood. We preserve
See?
those fuck windows. Now.
Right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, that was the stupidest intro we could have ever done. So I suppose I have to go to my classic standby question to get the conversation rolling. How's business here at Jackrabbit Brewing?
Business has been doing pretty well. Pretty well. The tap room seems to be thriving pretty well, especially on this Saturday when there's parties and podcasts.
Yeah. Something for everybody.
Yeah, we're cranking out the beer, and I can't keep up, so that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great problem to have.
Yeah. Although it is a problem that's killing me.
Yeah. So you were saying before we started that there was an issue where you had a problem keeping up for a specific reason.
Yes, we had previously been on a home-built 7-barrel brewing system. So we were brewing twice a day to fill our 15-barrel fermenters, 4 times over a course of 2 days to fill the 30-barrel fermenters. We just upgraded to a professionally built 15-barrel system, which is mostly making my life easier, but it did put us way behind. Like 3 weeks of production just kind of stood still while we removed one and put in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just like no room to have both going at the same time? Just
No.
Like, you're like, no, not
way
able
too
to do it.
small.
Okay.
And yeah, there was no space for it. So
Yeah. I do like the idea of home built. Like that really helps with the operating costs up front when you're starting out a brewery, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. One of our owners and founders, Chris, had been a big home brewer. Decided that him and his brother and a couple friends wanted to start a brewery. You know, the same old story you hear from a lot of places. And instead of going out and getting a huge loan or borrowing a bunch of money from people, he decided to teach himself how to weld and bought a bunch of like old dairy equipment and some other stainless like drums and built his own brewery. Very similar to like Ken Grossman did it.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, just do it old school. Like it's the 80s, but it's like we have the technology, but we're still going to do it old school.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
He's like, he went full old school. He's like, I'm going to open up, I'm going to do Belgians. That's what I'm going to aim into in
Also
the
true.
market.
Yeah.
A place that's rapidly going, I don't want that. And he's like, no, we're doing it.
Yeah, they when we first opened, we did a lot of Belgian beers, Belgian and English styles, which we do still produce. Not quite as often as we do the IPAs and imperial stouts and that kind of thing, but we still do have them.
Yeah, I think when you guys first opened, it was kind of like the last chance for people that wanted to do a brewery that way could do it and like be successful.
Right.
Like,
yeah, correct.
Which was very cool.
I mean, they kind of got off the ground with getting a lot of beer in bottles, like their saisons and their Abbey style. And surprisingly, I think we're the last brewery in the country that still puts things in 22-ounce bombers.
Yeah, nobody does.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's way the dodo.
I mean, we've definitely pulled away quite a bit from bottles. I mean, we do one IPA and our saison and some of the other Belgian stuff, but from where you're sitting right behind you, you can see we do a lot of cans as well.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have your own canning line, or is
we
it?
don't. We use.
I imagine with the small brew space, probably hard to slam a canning line in there.
Yes, it's hard to even get the mobile canning line in there. Like, especially with this new system, we had to have it all like accordioned out, and it was just we couldn't really. We were having to like duck underneath things to get to tanks, and it's kind of a nightmare. But that was only the first time, so we'll figure it out on this next one.
Yeah,
I hope.
hopefully.
We might be canning in the tap room next week, 2 weeks from now.
How's that work?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll have to let you know.
we'll try it out.
Yeah.
I'll come by. See, I just want to see it like up above, just kind of rolling off things.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like get on a platform and do it in front of everybody, like kind of like a performance art,
Oh, that would be
circus
good.
trapeze thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah. It's using up the space best. It's not blocking anybody, and it's like, will he die? Let's find out.
It's a good show for
Yeah.
people to come down and watch.
Yeah.
It's like at Circus when they have, like, in the middle, they have that stage area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
like
like
the
that.
trapeze artists
Yeah.
that do all
Right
the
up
whole
front.
the
Yeah.
whole thing.
You're like, yeah, this is our WC IPA. Oh, West Coast IPA? No, we're Comp IPA.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's very cool. And I think with the increased efficiency, you should be able to like have your best year ever.
I think we will. Yeah, I mean, I've only been here since this past March, And even since then, I've seen some growth, and we've come out with a few beers that sold really well, like our Peach Pale we did last summer, just as hey, let's try it and see how it goes. And we sold through it so quick and had so many people asking for it again that we just, as of 3 days ago, decided it's probably going to be a year-round beer.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's kind of exciting. And so we've just been sitting down over the last week or two trying to actually get down like a schedule for the next year and maybe actually have a plan instead of, just kind of throwing up our shoulders and go, hey, let's do this next, maybe?
That sounds risky. Justine, you do improv. How do you feel about plans?
I think it depends on the situation. I can't plan anything. That's why I don't do stand-up. I can't do it. But I think as like business-wise, I think that's smart to plan ahead of things.
Yeah.
Just to get the buzz going, because I started doing social media for the Sacramento Comedy Spot. And so I was like, man, you really have to push things out ahead of the ball instead of be like, oh, we got a show this Saturday, come to it, and everyone plans earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's kind of the same with beer, if we have something that we're excited about,
right,
and we can only promote it for a week or two before it comes out, like that makes it really tough for people to get excited about it.
Right.
The wheat wine that you're drinking was we sat in a meeting and was like, hey, like I want to do something with cranberries. Like, let's start thinking about it. And I'm like, hey, let's do a wheat wine. Like, I've never made one before. And like, let's give it a shot. I said, let's try to get some other breweries involved that have made wheat wines, like Rubicon. I wanted Alara, I wanted to get Chris Keaton involved, and I wanted to get Tower involved because they kind of took over like Monkey Knife Fight and some of the other Rubicon stuff. So I thought it would be cool to kind of get them involved and kind of keep that like Rubicon thing alive.
Yeah.
And then it was on the schedule for like 4 days later. Not enough time to plan and get people involved. Yeah. So we knocked the beer out and, kind of the same thing. Like we didn't have a plan to promote it much. So.
Right.
And if I recall correctly, wheat wine was created by Rubicon, right? That's a style that they innovated.
Like
Sacramento.
Late 80s,
I
think. Yep.
So it's a nice little homage.
Yeah, and I think you said the winter wheat wine is what they called it. Yeah, it's, as part of the other reason I wanted to make it, like I grew up drinking Rubicon. When my mom and stepdad got married, I was 17, and they had it at their wedding.
Oh, wow.
I snuck some.
Nice.
Yeah. So, so I thought it would be kind of cool to get that going, and I like the throwback to Rubicon.
Yeah. I also like the cranberry for Thanksgiving. I don't know when it came out, but let's just pretend it was 2 months ago.
Well, the plan was to have it out for Thanksgiving, but it came out the Christmas Eve.
That's fine. I still got leftovers for Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's not true. Hopefully,
that'd be gross. Yeah.
So gross. Oh my
things
God.
in the freezer, right?
Yeah, I threw it all in the
true.
freezer. Right. I didn't plug it in, but it just was in the freezer.
Yummy.
It should hold
mushy.
temp. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. A couple ice cubes. Be all right.
Yeah. So, Justine, are you a Sacramento lifer?
I am. I was born and raised in Sacramento, right on J Street at Mercy Hospital. If you've seen it,
Oh, nice.
you've been by.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been here my whole life. Grew up 24th and 2nd Avenue, where New Helvetia used to be, which is now, is it Dante's crepe? It used to be a crepe place. Now it's
I don't know.
24th
Off the top
and
of my
2nd.
head.
Anyway,
I
there's a
don't-
restaurant right there, but that's where I grew up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your experience with the Sacramento beer world? So, when did you first discover it even existed?
Well, that beer existed
When
was when
any beer existed in
my
Sacramento.
dad, he's a Budweiser guy,
Yeah,
and so that's the first beer I ever tasted.
Yeah.
I would grab my dad beers from the fridge, but Sacramento beer wise, I think I really started getting into the more local scene when I started performing at the Sacramento Comedy Spot, and they have local craft beers, and so I'm there every night, most of the nights, most of the week. And so that's where I learned about Jackrabbit. That's where I learned about all the other breweries in town.
Yeah.
Very
through
cool.
the comedy scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Justine, my girlfriend Becky Lynn and I adore you a ton. Tell me about your journey in getting into improv. I've listened to you do I think Serious Talk Seriously. You talked about it a little bit. Rip Serious Talk Seriously. Very sad to see it go.
Right.
But just tell us your story about how you got into everything that you do now.
Okay. So I was in college and I took a theater class and then switched my major into theater because I just loved it. I loved performing in front of people. I loved reactions that I got from the audience and the laughter. And then we started performing improv in college, just me and my friends. And then I found the Comedy Spot. This is like the abridged version.
Yeah, I
for
don't
everyone.
want that.
Right, yeah.
I want the working out of your garage. People are like, hey, what are you doing in there, creating that racket? That's
we did. We did
like a garage band for comedy.
No, it's true. We performed at, we practiced at my friend's mom's house in Elk Grove. And we were just in her backyard and we would practice our short form show that we used to perform up in Roseville. And then I found the Comedy Spot and started doing improv there and eventually started teaching improv, which is like come full circle. It's been 5 years since I think I started improv, and I think it's just cool to kind of give back to, to the people that are just starting out.
That makes sense, yeah.
Like I've been, so, that's it.
Yeah. I remember, I think I saw one of your first performances ever.
Yeah.
It was just like those little Herald teams.
Oh, really?
Where it's like, we're going to try it out and see if we're any good at this stuff.
Yeah.
And then like, I go back like a few months later, like, oh yeah, I'm doing ACL. Just don't worry about me. I'm Justine Lopez. I'm unstoppable.
It happened really quickly, but I was like really devoted in my classes. Like I would bring a notebook, and I think it's just from all the training that I had from college theater was, it was almost very like military-esque for me, or like being on a sports team. It's like, you got to practice, you got to put your time in, you got to take notes, you got to watch other people do things, and that's kind of just building your own craft.
I like that comparison to sports, because you'd think, people think you practice improv. That doesn't make any sense. You're improvising, but also sports are all reaction. It is. You got to react to what's happening on the floor. And you're like, but nobody goes, you practice that? Like, yeah, you have to. You have to understand like the basic structures and like anticipating and knowing your team.
Right.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
It's complete chemistry, because I compared it to sports. It's like improv. You don't know what's going to happen next sometimes. Someone can throw you a curveball and you just got to deal with it and work with it.
Or look silly and go down swinging.
Yes. Oh my God.
Just freeze.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh God. That did not go as I wanted. Let's just cut the scene. I'm done.
Next batter.
Right. Yeah. And then it's like, let's go next
swing
game.
and a miss.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a really good. I hadn't even thought of that until you said.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's like perfect.
Right. Yeah. Because, I used to play sports in high school. They were all individual sports. It was like golf and tennis. Yeah. But it was the same thing. You practice, and if you fuck up, then it's like you gotta try again. That's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Right. I don't think I've ever actually seen a live improv show.
Really?
Yeah. I've been to stand-up shows, but not a live improv show.
Yeah. Did you ever see, like, Whose Line Is It Anyway growing
I
up?
used to laugh my... Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I, first started loving. We're like, oh, shit, you can just... make things up on the spot, and but it's different seeing it live, that kind of magic that you see of people on the verge of failing almost, and what are they going to say next? It's almost like a magic show too, if you want to keep comparing it to things.
And I would say Comedy Spot, Anti-Corporation League, it's like the best improv for hundreds of miles.
Right.
Like, you can go to Portland, you're not going to get... And Portland, I was up there a few years ago, and I went to the back room of this venue, and there's this flyer for an old improv show, and it's like people have been on The Office, people who have been on HBO, it's like, and they're just a team. It's just a team of improvers, and they're like, every single one of them is famous. Like, wow. Like, that's crazy. Like, this whole team is incredible. I have a picture somewhere. I'll remember who it is, but And then, LA obviously has a great improv scene, but, I don't think you can get really many better professors or teachers of improv than, Brian Krall, who owns the Comedy Spot, Corky McDonald, Chris Emery, formerly Jesse Jones. I don't know if you can get a better, how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, and they've been doing it for 10 plus years. Yeah, I'm just I'm one of the, I'm in, the middle seasoned, right? And so... But those guys have been doing it forever. Like, they were the first people to bring it up here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just got to learn from the best, right?
Yeah.
True.
Because I think Chris so I did improv for about 4 months.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I took the classes, right? And I quickly realized the only person I had any chemistry with was Ben Marcel.
Okay.
I was like, me and him will always knock out a scene. Always. We'll be great.
Right.
2 Bens, gonna be good. Everybody else I was awful. But I did realize that, my class got pretty good at it. I'm like, it's because they're learning from my mistakes. Everything, I just teach them what not to do. I'm like, very good. It's a good teacher failure, I'm like, it's just, this is not what you should do. Like, Brian, like, see what Ben did there? Like, yeah, like, don't do that. Like, over and over again. Like,
You always have to have that kid, though, in your class.
Like,
I love it.
That's fine. But I only took the class. So I had a friend who is, like, naturally very funny, but he hates going out. Mm-hmm. And so, for his birthday, I bought him, like, hey, you're going to come do this class with me.
Really?
I bet he was stoked.
Yeah, he was super excited. He crushed it. I'm like, hey, want to come back to the 201? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. And I'm like, he was really good. And then when I stopped going, I didn't go to 301. He didn't either, and he just never picked it up again. I'm like, dude, you'd be so good if you just stuck to this.
Right.
And he's like, I hate parking downtown. I'm like, no, everybody does, but just do it.
That's funny.
He is also a terrible driver, so that probably.
Well, that makes sense. It makes it hard parking downtown.
If you're already terrible at
Yes.
a wide open, it's like, hey, this is like a abandoned mall park. It's like I hit a pole.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's terrible.
So I get it, but also I'm like, come on, just do it. Like
Maybe he'll find it again.
Yeah.
One day.
one day. That's what I
Right.
keep hoping. I push him like there's a stand-up show called I Think I'd Be Good at That.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's 5 comics go and mentor a person who's like, I'm kind of interested in doing stand-up. I've never done it. And like kind of show them the ropes. Like, you write some jokes and we'll come punch them up with you. Then you headline this show.
Yeah.
And so I got him to do that, and he crushed it.
That's
and then I'm like, you going to keep? He's like, no, I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm like, God damn it. And like, just do the thing. So anyway, you should go see a show.
Yeah, totally.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll have to get some info.
Whenever you're not working so hard, come see a show.
So maybe 6 months from now.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Let's plan for that.
Yeah,
Shoot
that
for
sounds
6 months.
good.
There's shows Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
There's shows
Friday,
improv shows.
right?
Friday also, yes.
Mhm.
Correct.
All right.
There's mixed improv and stand-up shows.
Right.
Get a little sketch in there.
There's some festivals coming up.
Yeah.
Go see that.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, see?
I'll have to find
Yeah.
somebody to go with. My wife hates comedy.
Really?
She doesn't
Oh,
like
no.
laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which is surprisingly because she married me.
Yeah.
Not that I'm funny, but just I'm stupid and it's fun
Yeah.
to laugh at me sometimes. But yeah, she doesn't dig comedy. I'm like, let's go to the comedy show. She's like, no, I'm good.
She's more of like a drama
Whoa.
Movie?
Don't you can't. Okay, there you go.
genre movies of drama.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's weird like that. Like she laughs at like things that are funny, yes, but it's also she hates the movie Spaceballs. So I'm like, we might have to
Oh.
divorce.
It's not for everybody. Some people just like the funny random happenings in life. They don't want to see somebody writing funny things. Anybody can write a funny thing if you sit down and think about it.
Yeah,
So
but,
who
I mean,
cares?
it's Spaceballs though.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm angry about it. I'm gonna drink my beer real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Physically angry.
That dog's mad about it. He's furious.
Angry dogs.
He
Yeah.
loves Spaceballs.
Yeah. But yeah. So you just said, Rob, you were married, and I know Kristen, obviously.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, working in the beer industry also.
She does. She just took a job doing sales in the Sacramento area for Faction Brewing out of Alameda.
Hence the hat.
Hence, no, I've had this hat for quite some time. I'm just a huge fan of theirs.
Yeah. Great place.
Yeah,
Love it.
I mean, it's
The best view in America.
I was going to say, got to be one of the best views at a brewery. I mean, just about anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've never been there.
No.
You sit on their patio, and on a nice clear day, you stare across the bay at San Francisco
Holy crap.
with the Bay Bridge on your right, and they're right on the old Air Force Base and right on the runway. And apparently, I've been told that there is an endangered species of bird that has made homes in the ground in the runway. So he's been told that he isn't Roger, the owner of Faction, has been told that they will never build anything in front of him, blocking his view of San Francisco
Wow.
because of said endangered bird.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, if you're ever out there, great place, great beers, and great views.
Yeah.
What's the name of
It's
the
called
brewery?
Faction.
Faction.
It's in Alameda.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very cool spot.
And if you're not a beer guy, there's a winery and a distillery like right next door.
Also
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
Yep.
This dog's very excited about those options. I read dog's language very well.
He's been there.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure there's an evil person in your brewery right now because he is going after one person. And dogs know evil people.
That is very true.
Anyway, just they've left. Everything's fine.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like an axe murderer, maybe.
Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how
We
I
should
know.
go find out. Bring him into the podcast here.
Yeah.
The dogs have a good sense of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is where we're meant to go with you're married. So's
I am
Justine. Justine has a baby.
I have a baby.
Baby, yes. We briefly talked about kids before we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have kids. Just kidding, have them. No, I know. I have a kid and it's crazy. Just trying to juggle, my comedy life with being a mom life. It's a wild thing.
Do you have a career life you also have to juggle with all that? Is it a fun little just
Well,
throw one more shrimp on the barbie?
right. Well, I mean, I have multiple jobs, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I recently quit my job working at a high school. I was teaching the kids and I was like, it's hard enough
Yeah.
coming home to a kid to be with kids during the day.
No, I can imagine.
especially high school kids.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah. So let's not do that. But I work from home.
Nice.
But then I also teach and then I also perform and I'm, a bunch of
raising
shows.
a baby and maintaining a relationship.
Right,
and
yes.
Finding
That's a lot
a
of- that's a
Saturday
lot of
to come
working.
talk about beer. And it's just who has the time?
Right?
What are you doing?
It's a juggle. Sometimes a struggle, But I don't know. You just make it work, and I just have so much, I guess, found respect for. I guess my parents. They had 3 kids, 3 girls, and so I'm like, how did you do that? You know, and kind of a new respect for how they reacted to situations, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I see where I'm feeling that too now.
Yeah.
As a parent, so man, it's just just wild.
I watched my my brother and sister-in-law struggle with their 2 kids, and I don't get how people try to do that. I'm like, I think maybe because I'm honestly too selfish.
Yes. That's where I'm at.
I'm just too selfish and
Very self-absorbed.
Yeah.
Driven, determined.
Yeah.
I have goals, Justine. And
yes, exactly.
I haven't written them down or pursued them, but I have them. And
I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
having kids makes it hard to go out and drink irresponsibly.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's always anytime I want to do something super outlandish, I'm like, I have a kid and maybe that's probably not the best thing I should do.
Right.
Maybe I should not spend so much money on drinks. Maybe I should spend that on my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Clothes,
You
new school shoes.
right. I still have time to get fucked up all the time,
Yeah.
but
when my kid's 16 and can drive me back home.
oh my god, this is
beautiful.
I'm just
This is
waiting
why
for
you
my
have
nephew to
kids.
get his. I'm like, I might even buy my nephew his first car
just
with a contract attached to it.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm in Roseville and I need to ride home,
yeah.
you are the driver.
school night or not,
Yeah.
you're picking me up.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why you have them. You
Yeah.
gotta use them,
Yeah.
right?
Put him to work.
Yeah, I mean, you get them because that way when you're older, you can use them and be like, and you can guilt trip them.
Exactly.
endlessly.
I used to wipe your butt.
Yeah.
You gotta wipe mine now too.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I know. Something to think about, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always get the you're the last of our name thing. and I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm like, not really. I have nephews.
That's
or I
true.
have cousins that are dudes. They can carry it on.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'm the last Moreno in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
The
I'm
name
like,
doesn't die with me entirely.
it's all good.
Like your bloodline will die with me, but
That is true.
your siblings' bloodlines will carry on, and that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's just
It's-
call it a win.
Yeah.
Also, I have 6 sisters. They have so many kids.
Right.
The bloodline's strong. We're good.
Yeah,
We're doing
just,
great
just
on
legally
bloodline.
change one of their names, and you got the name and the bloodline
Just
going.
convince one not to take their husband's name.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Perfect.
And then give their kid the name. Boom. Done. I'm a big fan. I was like, if I'm going to get married, I'm going to take my wife's name. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, really?
And so I'm very progressive. And then I'm going to name my kid my wife's name Junior. That's what I'm going to do. This is Becky Junior. We're doing that now.
I think that's a
That would be the-
fantastic idea.
Yes, please do that.
Fantastic idea.
Then I have to get married to have a kid, though, so I'm not really
Yeah,
too thrilled about it.
Also true. Also true.
Yeah.
Being married's great, though.
How long have you
Okay,
been
yeah.
married for?
3 years.
3 years?
We've been together. It'll be 9 years that we've been together this year,
Okay.
though.
Okay.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better because it's 6 years before we got married, and I'm only at year 4, so I'm doing fine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, and trust
Yeah.
me, it's coming down hard.
I just really.
The pressure of when
Yeah.
are we getting married?
Yeah, we went to one of her best friend's weddings, and now, like,
Oh, man.
if her friend comments on something that I posted, it'll usually be an allusion to, like, rings and engagements. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it. So I
Damn
can't post
it.
about, like, got to get more social media engagement. Speaking of engagements, God damn it.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yes.
we're on year 7 right now,
Oh,
and a kid, so that adds like 18
yeah.
more years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot more
Yeah.
stress there, too.
So yeah, we've been, and of course the parents are like, "Oh, when are you getting married?" And so yeah, that's on the list. But I think the main thing like that I'm anxious about is like the wedding aspect, and I'm like, I don't think I want a big wedding, and I think maybe just like a wedding party, like
Destination wedding.
Right?
Telling you.
Is that how you did it?
No, I
Because
wish
nobody
I had
shows up.
I
Because-
wanted to.
So nobody
Yeah.
shows up, and it's just
I
kind
didn't
of
care about that. I'm like, I don't want to spend all this money on a wedding.
You're like, I'm not marrying all these other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to, like, hey, let's go get married in Mexico or Hawaii or Belize or something. And, you know, instead of spending all this money on the wedding, we can just spend our money on that wedding. Because, like, we didn't really have a honeymoon. It was like we spent 2 days, like 3 days in Fort Bragg.
Ooh. I mean,
Which-
it's nice, but also.
Which is cool, but I mean, like, all we did was sit on the beach, and it was September.
So it's gloomy.
But it was, I mean, no, it was nice in September, but I mean, it's still like you're right on the water, and it's Northern California, so it's cold and windy still.
Yeah.
And like, you can't exactly go swimming in the ocean
Yeah,
because
because it's
it's
chilly.
fucking cold.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we had a great time.
Yeah.
We went to North Coast Brewing Company
This is
almost
how I
every
describe
night.
every trip to Fort Bragg. It's like, it's beautiful. It's cold. It's windy.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful. But
I mean,
also, it's not what you
There's
think
not
it
a
is.
ton of things to do. Like, I mean, we were on our honeymoon, so we found things to do. But like, a destination wedding would have been much preferred for me.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of not getting married, not signing any legal document, but having
Right.
a big-ass party with your friends. Like, let's
Hey.
go dancing, let's get some drinks, let's get some food.
Yeah.
I'll tell people why I like you. Is that cool? We can do
Right.
that.
That also
and then we
makes
don't
sense.
sign any documents.
Makes
There was
divorce
no
easier
trace
if it comes to
Yeah.
that.
of this.
we can just keep doing that like every 5 years. That's totally fine.
Right?
Just let's rent a fucking big-ass ballroom and go nuts with our friends.
There you
That
go.
sounds
See,
great.
The government, after 10 years, still considers that legally married.
Ooh, great news. I actually researched that. That is no longer true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It turns out when they passed the gay marriage law,
Uh-huh.
they changed the definition of domestic partnership
Ah, okay.
in order to be like, okay, fine. If you want this, we're going to take away this other thing. It's super weird.
Oh,
you have to be
wow.
like 65 now if you're straight.
Well, that's... I mean, that works out pretty well for a lot of people then, I imagine.
Yeah. It's like, great. You can just live there forever and be like, nope, still no. Still no.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, well, are you retired? Now you can do it.
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, and then we'll just cut your retirement benefits.
Haha, got you there. Man.
Always out for themselves. I don't understand the basis for it, but that's what happened. I was like, wait, when did this change? Because I was like looking at it. Probably just for like, well, how long do I have to break up with this girl? And then, no, she's like, let's just do a registered domestic partnership. I'm like, yeah, maybe we can just do that. Maybe.
Interesting.
So I'll check that out. And I'm like, oh, you can't do that anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. In California.
Okay.
No.
Stay in California.
No. Well,
Right.
if I was going to get married, I'd have to leave California.
That is true.
Because it's the worst place to get divorced in
Oh,
all the
yikes.
land.
It's the worst place for what?
Divorce. It's the
it
hardest
is?
place to get divorced. California. And it actually turns out Sacramento County and San Joaquin County specifically are the hardest counties to get a divorce in.
What makes it so hard?
Basically, they make you go to court. They make you do all the stuff, and they drag it out, and they just take all your money.
Oh, wow.
It's like 2.5, 3 years to do it, and they're like, you got to pay your attorneys, you got to pay the court fees, you got to do this, file, refile. That's your documents. That's not good enough. You got to pay a fee because it's not good enough. Like, it's crazy. Like, you gotta be like, we completely agree on dissolution. They're like, yeah, but now we still have to do the itemization. It's like, what the fuck? It's insane.
Jeez.
Anyway,
I mean,
you guys are married in
Divorce.
this county, right?
I've also been divorced once, and my divorce was pretty easy. I filed all the paperwork myself, and And granted, it was Placer County, not Sacramento.
there you go.
But, I mean, I still had to go through all the stuff. Like, I had to go to the courthouse, and I had to file all the paperwork and yada, yada, yada. But it was pretty easy.
Yeah. Also, I think it's mostly if you have kids, because there's the kid aspect.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Oh,
it...
boy.
Again, kids make everything harder.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys, I'm anxious.
How's it going? That's what I wanted to do. Just make this a real anxious event.
I love it,
Here's the
guys.
thing. We're on the edge of World War III. Let's just get it all out. What's
Oh,
one
man.
side
What's
terrifying?
Might
next?
as well.
Yeah.
Right? Oh boy.
This might not ever air. That's
I like it. We went from kids, marriage to divorce. That's the
Yeah.
natural process, right?
It's the
guys?
natural
Yeah.
order of things.
yeah. I mean, if my family's anything to speak of, I'm pretty.
go.
I'm pretty right on there.
Let's talk about death, guys.
Oh yeah,
It's
boy.
the circle of life.
There
I
it
learned that
is.
from a movie.
The Lion King.
Twice, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Two
learned it,
different
forgot
versions.
it, then learned it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was one of the first movies I cried at. Was
The Lion King.
The Lion King. when he-
2019.
The new one.
the first time of all my life I cried. Yeah, when he's like, Dad, like trying to wake him up.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What are you
that's
doing,
that's
Walt?
a crier.
God, Walt, why are you showing so much death? Anyway. Oh.
Yeah. I think the hardest I ever cried was at the end of Toy Story 3
Oh, I did super cry after
when he
that
gives
as
the
well.
toys to the little girl.
Mhm.
I was a wreck.
I don't really remember that movie.
Well, I watched it again. I didn't cry at all.
Yeah.
But like
I cried in the movie theaters, but I didn't cry watching it in my own living room because I knew it was coming. I
Right,
guess.
that's probably it.
Yeah.
But also at the time when I had watched it the first time, I had just gone through like a really depressing breakup like earlier that week, and I like
And you had
I
to give
barely
your
cried
toys
it
away?
out. I'd barely cried it out. Yeah, yeah. Took back all the toys, and it was but yeah, I hadn't really like had a chance to really process it emotionally. So that was probably part of it. It's like, oh, that week where you were too busy to really pay attention to your breakup, and now you're watching this sad thing
Oh,
happen.
man.
I was just like snotting everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeez.
very attractive.
very
Mhm.
attractive.
And a thing I talk about often. My first big cry was
Love it.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3.
yeah.
And
No one
that
died.
was a spoiler alert for anyone who's never seen the
Toy
end
Story?
of Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now I'm gonna have to go home and watch it and see if I cry.
Well, now you've got it spoiled.
Yeah,
though,
now
so
you
it's-
know.
Yeah, it's not the same if you're not like experiencing it in real time.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
All right, I'll skip it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I'd say at this
I'll
point,
just skip it.
it's not
now.
even worth watching.
Yeah,
at this point,
I'm good. I'm done.
I don't know where to go from here, guys. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
Anything happy happen for any of you?
Happy.
Anything happy happen this year?
The happy happenings this year
Such a
of,
short
of
time.
2020 so far. Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah, it is
I don't know.
2020.
Yeah.
It is.
See, I'm
2020.
Yeah.
at work so much I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, one of my favorite things. There's a brilliant comedian, Natasha Muse. She's so funny. She's like, can't believe it, guys. I'm still writing 1919 on all my checks. And
Oh,
that made me
no.
laugh so hard.
Anything happy? I don't know.
yeah.
I will honestly say it was a weird end to 2019 in some aspects.
It was for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've heard that a lot from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my boyfriend got in a car accident
Oh, boy.
like December 16th, like a week before Christmas. And so that kind of like put a bummer on
Yeah.
celebrations.
Yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think we're all just trying to recover and going into a 2020 that's like already starting out weird.
You're supposed to put it all in the rear view, I think, for 2020, right? 'Cause
Right.
It's all hindsight. You're like, it's all behind me.
Yeah.
Let's get past it. You're like, but it's also a part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw a meme the other day
Uh-oh.
that everybody at the beginning of 2019 was like, 2019, come at me, bro. And now it's 2020. People be like, I don't want any problems.
Right. Like, please
just
leave me out of
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, don't want it. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more meme texts when I wake up in the morning. I'll wake up and like friends are just sending me memes randomly. Like we're in it together, buddy. We're all gonna be here's. I know it's probably sad as you wake up, but here's like a chance to laugh. Like
Well,
as we
that's
wake
good.
up.
Like, I mean, it's nice of them
It-
trying to
I-
make you laugh as soon as you wake up. Start your day off right.
Yeah, so I'm sending
you
them
go.
back. So now we all just like with phone friends. Like this is how we're gonna get through the year. It's just like gentle reminders that the world's not so bad. Like every morning from friends. Is that
Right.
how we do it?
It's, hey, whatever works, right?
It's like, look, there's
Gets you
somebody out there
through.
funnier than you right now, and it's just
These meme comedians.
yeah.
Damn
God
you.
damn it. Yeah, awful. I made one, and people were like, "You need to stop posting this." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to stop posting it. It's super dumb."
You just keep posting the same one over and over.
Yeah. It's Lionel Richie at a piano, and there's a beer at the end of it. I go, "Hey, you, beer meme," and that's it.
Oh, that's so
like,
terrible.
This is so
but
stupid.
kind
Like,
of
I know,
awesome.
but also,
That's great.
I'm not going to do better. That's as good as I'm going to get.
That's as good as
You
I'm going to
made
get
that?
right
Yeah.
now.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought I was like,
Have you seen it?
No.
No,
Oh,
it has
okay.
not.
I haven't
No, it
seen
has not spread like wildfire at all.
Let's start planning.
The
for
most
this.
reaction I get is, "Please stop doing this." And so I posted it all. I posted it on all my social media separately. You
Yeah.
know, space it out in case you missed it on the one. You'll see it on the other one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I got a message like, "Please stop posting it. It's not even that good." I'm like, "It's great."
This is hilarious.
Trust me.
You don't know funny, apparently.
You don't know. This is the funniest thing I've ever done. This is my crowning achievement. When I die, they're gonna put this on my tombstone.
Yes.
And you'll be sorry. I don't know.
It's just the pinnacle of my hilarity.
I don't know why. I just like woke up one morning. Like, is there a picture of him drinking a beer somewhere on the internet that I can do this dumb thing
Oh,
with?
man. We'll have to find one.
Because like I know the Simpsons did "Hey You Beer Me." I'm like, yeah, it's totally they've done that, but beer meme they did not do. Beer
Ah.
"Hey You Beer Meme," and that's the end of it.
Yeah. It's a pun within the meme.
Yeah,
and
it's
like-
building on other.
yeah.
It's a whole. You got to
Very
understand.
punny meme.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so you can find that on all my social media at Barley and Me Pod. "Hey You Beer Meme." I felt very good about it. No one else. Anyway, that's what I did.
That's what you've
Make
accomplished so
That's
far?
better.
yeah. That's your happy happenings.
There we go. Probably.
Nice.
I don't know. I've got a lot of happy happenings. Like, 'cause I'm a big celebrator of other people's accomplishments.
Yeah.
Because I'm never gonna have any, and so I just like really, really abide by like what my friends are doing, and
Yeah.
like they're all doing really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this
Well, that's
is
good.
very cool.
Yeah.
So like New Year's Eve, what did I do? I went. My girlfriend got booked on a show in Mill Valley to do comedy.
Nice.
At this beautiful theater that Robert Williams used to pop into all the time. You know,
Oh, that's cool.
because he used to live down the street from there, and it was like Mort Saul, one of the first stand-up comics ever, was doing like a quick 10 minutes at the beginning of the show, and it was like New Year's Eve show. It was packed. Everybody was dressed to the nines. She bombed terribly.
Oh, I love it.
that's
got paid
terrible.
handsomely. To be fair, she had to follow like a complete destroyer of worlds comedian.
Yeah.
And like their styles are they're actually like complete opposites of each other. Like
That's tough,
everything is a complete tonal shift.
Yeah.
So she was doomed. I was like, oh no, this is gonna go bad. But we did that, and then she got paid handsomely, which was great.
Yeah.
And then our comedy friend Johnny Taylor was opening for Portugal the Man in Oakland.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the biggest bands on earth.
Yeah.
And he's like,
That's amazing.
he's like, do you guys want to come? I'll get you in. You want to go
yeah.
backstage? And we're like, yeah. So
Hell
that's how
yeah.
we rang in the New Year, was partying with Portugal the Man. So
That is fantastic.
and that's just like my friend's success is my success.
There
This is
you
very
go.
cool.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, kicked out
Nice.
2020 real good.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and now Becky's opening for Jen Kirkman this weekend.
Yeah, I saw
at the
that.
Punchline, and Jen's a wonderful comic. Like she's got 2 Netflix specials. She's written 2 best-selling books. Wrote for Marvelous Miss Maisel. She's got some TV stuff going
Yeah.
on, and like she actively loves Becky. Like actively, like you're
That's pretty
great,
cool.
and like they. Like last night, they were talking after the show that ended at midnight. I think we got home at like 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And I was like, I never once went in that green room. I'm like, I'm just going to let him talk. I'll just be out here reading about sports, I guess. And then I hear him because it's like echoing at this point because the place is emptied out. She's like, well, I should probably go. My boyfriend's probably like waiting for me. And she's like, oh my God, your boyfriend's here? I'm so sorry. And then it was
man.
another 20 minutes. But
And then it was another hour and a half.
yeah. But I haven't met her. I'm like, no, this is your weekend. Just do your thing. Don't mind me.
I think that's really cool, especially, coming out of Sacramento too. That's just another name in the like Sacramento comedian books.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Every
that's
time.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And Sacramento comedy killing it.
Killing
Can't
it,
be
man.
stopped.
Right.
And nobody believes it. It's super fun.
I like that though. I like how no one believes in it because it's
Yeah.
like you'll see you'll see one day.
Oh, you'll be sorry.
You'll be sorry, guys. Real sorry.
Yeah. Where'd you go? Oh, you went to IO in LA? Have you been to Comedy Spot in Sacramento? Like, why would
right.
I go there? I'm like, you should go there.
Yes, it's true. I don't know. I mean, like even just like looking back at the Comedy Spot itself, like looking at like show photos, and I'm like, man, like these shows are selling out. Like they are standing room only shows, and to go back to like see from where they started, it's like it's blown up in like the past 10 plus years.
Yeah. And now it's your job to push it even farther.
You're right. Yeah. My pressure.
Like, not being involved in the comedy scene at all. Like, I've actually started noticing a lot more of it. Like, in other people's social media feeds, like, I've seen more and more people going out for comedy in Sacramento, which I think is pretty cool.
Right. I mean, like we're saying, it's kind of a weird year and been a couple weird years in, like, just the world aspect where it's like, you know what, let's laugh a little bit. Like, let's, like, forget it for an hour real quick and then go back to our political memes and then,
Or beer memes.
Or beer memes.
Beer memes.
Lionel Richie beer memes.
Lionel Richie beer memes.
God damn it. I didn't mean to bring it up.
Yeah, it's going to haunt you now.
Yeah. I'm finally going to get that fame I it's so crazy.
It's on the internet forever.
On it forever. In my phone still. Can bring it back out.
It's your wallpaper on your phone.
Yeah.
Don't lie, it's a Christmas card for next year.
Yeah. Just anytime. Like, my business card is just that.
You're just going to...
You're like, what is this? I'm like, click this little square with the thing. Just scan it. You'll get to my podcast.
You're just going to, like, Photoshop a Christmas or a Santa hat on top of Lionel Richie for next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
For every holiday, you have
Just
to put some type of hat for the holiday.
Yeah. Pumpkin-headed. They're like, who is this? Like, it's Lionel Richie.
All right.
That's great.
Doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Real dumb. Anyway, so what about you and your Jackrabbits?
We're pretty stoked. Like I said earlier, we're going to start having a few more year-round beers. Like our Peach Pale's big one, pretty stoked about. We're going to be doing a semi-permanent 19.2 ounce can.
Okay.
We're going to be coming out. We've already come out with one, but we're going to come out with one on a more regular basis, which is exciting. We're looking to try to do a few more collaborations this year, and just hopefully do some more fun stuff. That we've got a map, kind of a mapped out for the next year, but we've also like left some holes open for like if we want to do some other fun projects that like pop into our heads randomly,
or somebody comes up to us like, hey, you want to do this thing?
Exactly. We do want to get back to we want to rebuild our barrel program, which was kind of over the last few years just kind of nobody really here to kind of take care of it. And we've got kind of the last beer from those barrels on tap now, but we want to kind of rebuild that barrel program moving forward. And oh boy, just
what kind of barrels you looking at?
A little bit of some wine barrels, definitely some wine barrels. We want to do some spirit barrels, whiskey. We were talking the other day about trying to find some rum barrels, maybe even tequila barrels if we can get our hands on some. And then, for the most part, probably start off with some wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you should throw like a nice quad in some wine. It would be very cool.
Yeah. That's something I've been wanting to try. I want to try to do a Belgian quad in a barrel with like fresh tamarind.
Okay.
I think could be kind of funky and weird.
That's very nice.
Just because I feel like they would kind of go real well together, the barrel, the tamarind, and the quad.
Yeah.
We were talking, so we've done a few collaborations with Temple Coffee.
Okay.
And we've talked about getting a whiskey barrel and having them bring us some of their green coffee beans and aging those in the whiskey barrels. And then they take the beans back, roast them, and then we make a beer with those whiskey barrel-aged coffee beans. And then maybe even try to take it a step further and then age that same beer in the same barrels that the coffee was aged in. So
okay, sweet.
It's a lot to it, but like I think it would, in the long run, I think it'd be kind of a fun project to do. To do with them. Like I think that'd be kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, that'd probably be a lot more depth of flavor when you're getting it.
Yeah,
like 3 different ways.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like with was it Jameson that has?
Oh yeah,
like
they make a beer and they use the beer back and then they put the Jameson in.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Like, so I think it's kind of the similar same lines as that. So yeah, I don't know. We've got a lot of stuff coming up that we're pretty excited about, and Our team is growing. We're getting more and more people. We're hiring a few more people. So I think it's great.
Yeah. Good.
So that's where you see Jackrabbit. Where do you see beer at the end of 2020? What do you think? We're seeing like a little bit of a shrinking in the market worldwide, not necessarily locally.
Right.
We've got the crazy the haze craze going. You got your crazy imperial stouts going. What do you think's happening that you see coming up?
Honestly, I'm a little scared of what's coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, between the 17% pastry stouts and the hazy sour milkshake IPAs that don't actually taste anything like beer.
Yes.
They taste more like a very terribly mixed drink.
Yes.
I don't
beer
know.
cocktails.
I really hope that, and I guess I've kind of started seeing it in other areas. I kind of hope that it starts going back to more beer-flavored beer. Clean beer, clear beer.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
That's kind of your passion because you used to work at Sacktown.
It was Sacktown Union, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where they had the big thing about keep beer clear. So you've been indoctrinated.
The 2.5 years I was, almost 3 years that I was there, we did not put out a hazy beer. We had one beer that we couldn't get to clear out without filtering, but that was an accident.
Right.
And it was not served on purpose that way. But I've always been a big proponent of clear beer.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a place for it. And I think beer's cyclical,
Right, yeah.
You start off drinking the shitty Pilsners, wannabes, you drink your Miller Lights and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I'm going to try Belgians. I'm going to try stouts because they're like flavor profiles you recognize. And you're like,
right.
I'll try an IPA. We'll see what's going on with IPA. And now it's so much easier because it tastes like it's just
right, because you always kind of want to go down that. I mean, you always kind of want to go down that rabbit hole, right? Yeah. Like, that's why they call marijuana a gateway drug. 'Cause you're like, cool, I'm going to get high now. I want to get higher, but you need something else to do that. I feel like beer was kind of the same way. Whereas, like you said, you start off with something light, but as your taste buds change, you want something stronger and stronger until you get to a point where okay, this
I've maybe gone
17% stout that basically tastes like sugar. I'm gonna go drink something light now.
Yeah,
right.
It's like I can still feel it on my teeth as I'm walking out. An hour later, because I gotta sober up before I get in the car.
Right,
I gotta hang out, and it's still here. Still here.
Yeah, and those, for a long time there, the big IPAs were the same way, right? It was like people were trying to get
it?
How much alcohol, how bitter can you get this beer? And I mean, there's still a lot of places out there that do that, but it's also not like every tap room you go to. Like it used to be 15 triple IPAs, one double IPA, one single, and a brown.
Yeah, like some dark.
Yeah,
like brown porter stout.
Right.
You get one.
So we moved away from, for the most part, we've moved away from that into just other stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, I hope it goes back to more traditional beer styles.
Yeah.
The trends, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think people are going to continue to try to push the envelope and just make things that are trendy and not very good. In my opinion. I know a lot of people that dig that kind of thing.
Some of them are very good.
It's just not my jam. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there, but I think just to make things just because it's a trend doesn't necessarily mean it turns out good.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am not a huge hazy guy either, but I'll say this is a really good hazy. I'll say that to plenty of them.
Yeah.
But I know when I buy one, there's a 60% chance I'm like, I don't want to finish this.
Yeah. And I mean, I totally get the appeal on the hazy IPAs and the juicy IPAs because a lot of people don't like IPAs because they're bitter, right? Well, the juicy and the hazy ones aren't very bitter, but you do still have a lot of that big hop flavor and aroma. So you get kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Right? You get to drink an IPA with the higher alcohol and all that flavor without being super bitter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the bitterness.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore the bitterness. I love when you can't talk the next day because it's ripped. It's just ripped your throat out. I'm like, I had a good night last night. That was worthwhile.
Yeah,
I can't talk today.
That was great. Cool.
Yeah. And those don't exist anymore.
Not very much. I mean, even some of the old ones that were awesome, like Stone used to be like that, but not anymore.
Yeah.
all their beers have turned a little more new school and a little less bitter. Aside from Arrogant Bastard, I feel that beer is still pretty terribly awful. It's one of my favorite beers ever.
Yeah.
But
I love Lucky Bastard. That's my favorite one.
I don't think I've had that.
It's like a mixture of all the bastards.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
It's so good. It's like Oak Aged Bastard and Double Bastard and Regular Bastard mixed in, and it's phenomenal. I spell Lucky. It's all misspelled because like you can't spell it right at that point.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite beers. But yeah, I still think like Stone wants to be back in 2006. Like they really want to. Like I wish it was the heyday of like 97 to 2006.
Right.
And I don't blame them. That's what they made their name on.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yeah, that's when I started drinking beer. That sounds great. I would love to be back when I was starting to drink beer.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, Arrogant Bastard has been one of my favorite beers. It's really the beer that got me into actually drinking good beer. There was a liquor store that used to not card me for beer. I was 21, but he didn't bother carding me. And I was drinking like Miller, like MGD at the time, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to try this really random 22-ounce bottle. And it was back in the day when like you'd go to a liquor store and their beer selection was all macro beers and like 2 rows of other stuff that was always
out of date.
The big names. Yeah, like but it was always the big names. Sierra Nevada. It was Stone and it was like Fat Tire. And you're like, okay, cool. But I didn't know any better. So I'm like, Arrogant Bastard, what is this? I'm going to try
And you read
this.
the bottle, and it's like such an interesting bottle to read.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, and it looks cool. The gargoyles.
The gargoyle, and it's like
I'm going to give it a try.
I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. I got about halfway through it and decided I hated it, but was going to finish it because I'd already spent the money.
Yeah. And it calls you a pussy if you don't.
It does. Yes, pretty much.
It's right on the bottle.
So I went.
I've had it before.
You are a wimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're no kind of man. That's what it says. Right on it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I remember blacking out after drinking an Arrogant Bastard one time, but I had already been drinking beforehand, and I'm like, let me just get an Arrogant Bastard, and I blacked out immediately.
I absolutely hated it. And I went back and I bought the one the next day. And it was all over from there.
Yeah. Once you find one, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you just go tell the world.
Yeah.
You're like, I remember I got into an argument one time at a, let's just call it what it is, a swingers bar. I wasn't there for swinging. It was there's an open mic. And I got there early because I had nothing better to do. I'm like, I'll just go and sign up early. And there's nobody except for this one old guy arguing that Guinness is the world's most perfect beer. And I'm like, you're incorrect. I have an old Rasputin in the trunk of my car.
Oh,
wow.
Do you want to try this? And so we go into the alleyway.
Yes.
He's like, this is really good.
The
I'm like,
story
I know.
keeps
It's
getting classier and classier.
Yeah. Anyway, you can imagine the hygiene levels of an old man who's hanging at a swingers bar at 6:30 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So let's just say I probably should not have taken the bottle back, but I did.
Okay. Yeah.
So not the best decision I've made
Beer
in my
brings
life.
people together.
But here's the thing. He agreed, and he was like, told them to bring in something that wasn't Guinness. So I won. That dog's very upset at me for having done this to anybody.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Well, he's more mad that you also drank off the same lips of a swinger.
Yeah.
As the swinger old man at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, not strong life choices, I
mean, we all make mistakes.
I was younger, I was like 29, 30 years old.
Yeah. I was much younger 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That was old me. That was 2019 me. 2020 me wouldn't do that.
Oh man.
I think it was great that did you just randomly have an old Rasputin in your trunk of your car?
Yeah. I just gone like beer shopping. And
okay. So it wasn't random. Like it was like you had beer in your trunk.
Right.
It wasn't just like one bottle rolling around for the 6 months that you just kept forgetting to take out.
I feel like it might have been there for like 2 or 3 days though. But whatever.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Still good.
I think as long as it still tasted good after the swinger lips.
Swinger lips.
Oh my god.
That's so gross.
It's so gross. It didn't come back to bite me. Just so
good.
Well, that's
Okay.
good.
Everything's
That's
good.
We're good.
Yeah. Dance to the devil, made it out alive. Learn from it. Like maybe next time don't do that. You it would be a really good beer. This beer, and then if you have 2 bottles, you can bring it out.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a cup. Bring some
or there's
cups.
nobody in the bar. Just the bartender. Be like, hey man, do you mind if we drink this in the back? Give us 2 glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
There you
Well,
go.
like, no, we can't open a bottle in here to be illegal. So let's go in the alleyway.
Or drink it first and then hand him the bottle.
That's true.
Right, all the things.
Yes.
Well, it became a puff puff pass situation.
Oh man.
So it was.
So it went back and forth.
Yeah.
A sip pass.
A sip
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's trademarked. We can't say it.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Is it? Probably. Somebody made a dank IPA called that. I think New Glory did.
Oh, sip.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
New Glory or Ultima? Was it New Glory?
I think one of those two made a sip pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, New Glory sounds about right, actually. Yeah, that sounds
now
about right.
now that we're saying it out loud,
There
I'm
we
like,
go.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
exists. This already exists.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
TM.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a beer called that next week, and I'm going to make the same label just with our name on it.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Nice.
See what they say.
But the S's are like money symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
there you
course.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I changed it enough.
Yeah.
It's totally different now. What's
Yeah.
the problem?
All the S's actually
All
should
of them.
be
Yeah.
money symbols.
Extra
Just in life?
No, just you know what? Let's talk about that. No.
Let's change the entire English language so the
Let's-
S's are money symbols.
Let's admit what America really is and change every S to money signs.
There we go.
All the
See?
C's are cents, and all the pennies, you don't say it. You don't say penny.
Oh no.
We kill all the pennies. We destroy all pennies that have been made. Any girl named Penny, we have to murder her. It's just no more pennies.
Ooh, that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got
I
really
like
dark.
it.
This is why I'm not allowed to do improv. This is where my
It's
makes
just really
sense.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, just everybody just
it's like
Crying.
silence.
Yeah.
They're
This is
like,
why we
"All
don't
right."
give me authority. Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, guys.
you could probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could pull it off.
I forgot how we got to that, and so I'm like, let's just circle it back. But I'm like, I don't know where we came from.
I think we were just talking about your
Sip, sip,
upcoming.
pass and-
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
sip,
it was my disgustingness.
Yeah.
Right. My
Yes.
disgusting stories.
Yes.
That's when you're a brand ambassador, you
Right.
do some dumb
you
things.
gotta do it. Push the boundaries.
However, speaking of New Glory, not... Wow, that dog is...
There's another bad
there's
person
two
in
dogs.
here. But
Well,
near
there's a
each
bunch
other.
of children here. That's probably what it is.
That's
Also
what
true.
it is.
Probably a penny.
I probably smell like a kid. I smell like a 2-year-old.
They can smell it on you.
They can
Yeah.
smell my fear and anxiety.
Yeah, speaking of New Glory, nothing is written in concrete yet, but me and Kyle Letty have talked about doing a collab, so that's something that I'm really hoping that we
That's
get
gonna be
down.
very cool for you guys.
I'm really hoping that's
Yeah.
something we can get down this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've been friends for a while now.
Me and Letty?
Yeah. Feel
Oh,
like
yeah, we've been friends for a while. Yeah, I love all those New Glory people. I mean, the ones that I know. They make great beer, and like I said earlier, I mean, I was joking, but beer does bring people together. I mean, I've met a lot of my friends through beer. In fact, almost all of them.
yeah.
I've met through
When
beer.
you start looking at it, you're like, oh, how do I know this? Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
yeah. I ran into an old a friend from school, like from elementary school, at Final Gravity once, just randomly, and so we reconnected and started hanging out, and I was talking to her about like all of our friends, most of them, not all of them, all of them, and then like you said, you start really looking at it, and it's like, wow, every single one of my friends, aside from like 2 in my life, I've all met through beer.
But then you remember that drinking is a social thing. You
Yeah.
usually are doing it at a brewery, at a bar, at a
Yep.
restaurant, at a concert. That's where you meet people.
At home on my
Yeah.
couch
It's
by
like, by
myself
the way,
in the dark.
Yeah.
You met yourself.
So in my old apartment, it was always very hot because there's only had like the AC was in my bedroom, and it like was angled in the
no.
window. It was a window
yeah.
unit. And it was like the apartment was just slightly angled, so it actually was blowing towards my closet for no reason. So
Awesome.
like it was always hot as shit
But
in
your
my apartment.
clothes were cold as ice.
Yeah, and so I had this other like wind thing to help push, but you had to have the door or 2 windows open on each side to help with circulation, and my window didn't open, so I would usually leave my door open, and so one night I fell asleep with it on my couch, and my door's open. My neighbor comes home drunk, just walks in my apartment,
Oh no.
comes down, lays on me, starts to spoon me.
What?
I'm like, hey, dude, wrong apartment. This is the wrong apartment.
That's so
And he goes,
awesome.
oh, I'm sorry, dude. And he gets up and he just walks over to my chair and falls asleep.
What?
He doesn't go to his apartment.
So rad.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
you
like,
make him breakfast in the morning?
oh.
Like,
this
were
is
you
awkward.
friends as neighbors?
No,
Oh.
no.
Weird.
He had actually just moved in. It was actually his girlfriend's apartment. They just moved in together, but she'd been there for a few months. I'm like, hey, so about your boyfriend last night? He cuddled me. I don't know. You might want to talk to him.
That's
about
funny. He's like, "Ooh,
That's an
baby, you
awkward
feel so
conversation.
different."
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't tend to sleep with my door open after that for whatever reason.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't make good life choices. I don't know how I even made it this far.
Man.
I'm just like, yeah, just do that.
This sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do think when you look back at your friendships, like they're all tied to beer because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, are
Yeah.
your friends mostly comic people?
Comic people, and then what do we do? We drink beer
Yeah.
during the show, after the shows.
So it's all
Yeah.
it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I didn't drink. You know, I was a sober person. You know, and then but I went to a lot of concerts and stuff. So like all my friends were musicians and artists and stuff. And now I'm like kind of like, what happened to those guys? Should I kind of miss being friends with musicians and artists. I should probably find those ones again.
Yeah.
I just haven't made the effort. I'm a terrible friend.
No.
But so any musicians and artists, I want to hang out. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of having comedians as guests. You know, it's
Yeah.
real monotonous.
It is. Yes, I could totally see where that would be a drag.
Right.
Yeah.
We're so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful. They're all really in their feelings about things. I don't know why. The nice part for you for improv is you don't have to do writing sessions. You know, you don't have to like,
No.
let's get together and work on material. It's very therapeutic, but you can't use any of it. I'm like, here's all my sadnesses. Is that cool?
Right. That's true. Yeah. No, because if I did write, it would all just be.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's all
like
just
how do I
weird.
make this funny? Like, I don't know if you can. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's true. I literally cannot write. I mean, I've written sketches, but I've never. I don't know. There's something magical about just coming up with something on the spot without even prepping for it. I think the longer that I prep for something, the worse it is.
Yeah, because then you overthink it.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In school, I would always wait till the last minute to finish a project. Last minute for everything, because spending all that time to prepare for it, I was like, I'm thinking too much, and then I get it wrong. So yeah.
Oh, I remember. You have to do outlines. You remember that? Like, we're going to do a paper, and so come back tomorrow
my
with your
God.
outline.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to do an outline. I
Yeah.
don't really understand it, because then when I write, I'm just going to do the points, and it's going to be a really boring, short paper.
Right.
So I'd go home and I'd write the entire paper, and then I'd go back, what's the outline of what I've already written? Like, otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do this, 8-page paper. It'll be 2.5 pages because I'm sticking to the rubric, and, like, there's no wiggle room.
Right.
That's just me, though.
I've never written a paper
Good.
in my life,
I recommend it.
so that's good for me. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know.
I was shitty at school, so
I was a
yeah.
terrible student.
Yeah.
I was so good
Terrible
at school.
Were
I
you
was
so
good
good?
at school? Yeah.
nice.
I was hella good at school.
I was so bad.
I had
so
no
bad.
friends. None. It was wonderful.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Were you like a 4.0 guy?
No, because my school had brutal grading system.
Oh.
You know, what's your grading system for an A, B, C, D? How would you get? What were your percentages? What were your cutoffs?
Like it was like an A was like 90 to 100.
Right.
Right.
And B was like 80 to 90.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds
pretty
about right.
typical,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mine was A is 94 to 100.
Holy.
B is 88 to 93. C is 80 to 87. It might be 87 to whatever for B. And then 75 to 80 was a D.
They made you work
Anything
for it.
below that was an F. And I was like, also, it should be E. It's the next letter. But
Wow.
yeah, and they were brutal. So any other school, I'd be a 4.0.
Wow.
But I wasn't that great at science. So, 92s would get in there. I'm like, God damn it.
No, it screwed you over.
So I'm applying for all these, I'm going to get scholarships. Like, your GPA is just not there, man. I'm like, fuck you. Like,
It's not me.
it's not. Look at the grading scale. It's insane. Who
Yeah.
could do this? They're like, you don't have any, you're not even in advanced class. Like, we didn't even offer them. We didn't even have advanced class. The only thing
Like,
advanced I
everything
had-
was an advanced
I could go up one math. That's the only thing I could do.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is
man.
brutal.
Yeah.
Then we had people who, senior year, you could go into 2 English classes. You could go into senior English or college preparatory English.
Where did
Essentially,
you go to school?
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah. And so, basically, do you think you might go to college? We have an English class for you. If you're going to be a guy, let's face it, you're not going to school. Here's your English class because you got to have the 4 years of English. It was such a
Wow.
weird setup.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
It was awful. I hated it.
Man.
Yeah, I did not fit in there. I also wasn't born there, so I just didn't fit in
Oh, no.
at all.
I would have
couldn't-
done terribly at that school if the grading system was like that.
Yeah, it was awful.
I would have failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did anyway, but
But yeah, you definitely would have failed. Yeah. It was a very strange school. I don't know if I recommend it at all to anybody.
To live in North Dakota.
Yeah, definitely do not recommend. Do not recommend.
I've heard some nice things about their winters.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yes.
That's why when I got a chance to choose where I live, I fled entirely. Because my entire life we always lived in like the northern states. Like one time I think we went 2 states south of the border of Canada.
Oh,
And
snap.
I'm like, oh, we're getting crazy. And I'm like, I think I'm going to leave
Yeah.
and never deal with snow. People are like, do you want to go up to Tahoe? I'm like, no. I'm sure
I
it's
know what it's
beautiful,
like,
but
yeah.
I live here to avoid that.
Right.
I know it's a cool getaway for you, but for me, it's a nightmare.
Right.
That reminds me of all the worst parts of my life.
Yeah, see, I'm that person. I enjoy going to the snow, but it's because I can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'll do it now. But when I first moved out here, I'm like, no, I would never want to do that. I was also a commercial fisherman, so I didn't eat fish for like 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh, you like fish? Oh, it's pretty good, sure. Now eat it 3 meals a day for 5 months.
Oh, that could get old.
Man.
Do you hate it yet? Yeah, you hate it a whole
Really
lot.
hate it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But now I'm like, yeah, let's hit fish. But it took a lot of
Right.
time to get past all that stuff. I'm like, you ever eat fish while plotting the murder of your
Just caught a whiff of fish and chips
Yeah,
floating
it's
in from the
Oh
food
wow.
truck.
Wow, this is a very karmic
I love
episode. Everything just kind of comes. Dogs will bark at the right time.
Yeah, right?
That is very strange.
That was random. Maybe it was there the whole time and we just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Until right now, once we brought it up.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it's just like now your brain's like, oh, I'm thinking about fish.
No,
and
I'm
there's
thinking,
fish.
was that smell really there?
Yeah. Let's go back in time and find out. Let's ask strangers, how long have you been smelling fish? What? No, just how long have you had this fish smell? Like,
Sir,
in the air.
get out.
Oh, that's great.
God, this is crazy. You should probably leave. What do you think? Should we probably get out of here and live 2020 to its fullest?
Yeah, whatever. You do you. I got more work to do, so.
Yeah, we all have stuff.
Yeah.
I got more beer to drink and
Come to
more work
shows.
to do. And
Yeah, drink more beer. Come to shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what everyone should do. That's
Yeah.
everyone's resolution.
And what's the name of the place you're at all the time?
The Sacramento Comedy Spot.
Sacramento Comedy
Yeah.
Spot.
20th and J, right by Lowbrow.
Right by it.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it, but
Exact-
oh yes, I have. Yes,
Yeah,
I know
it's weird.
exactly
It's
where
like
it is.
you.
One side has a really clear side, and one side's like,
you
what is
can't-
this?
You don't see it.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
passed by it, and you never see it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they're doing little things to increase visibility.
Yes.
They've got that sandwich board I've been pushing for 3 years. I'm like,
Yes.
Brian, get a sandwich board.
Sandwich board, putting like lights in the windows, and yeah.
Revamped bar.
New bar.
New bar.
Yeah.
Full bar or yeah?
We
No, it's
yeah.
cans and bottles only.
Okay.
Right.
They carry your guys' stuff like champs.
Well, that's cool. I like to hear that.
Yeah. So
like
we
to
like
hear that.
Support the local breweries.
Yeah, I'll have to go support the local comedy.
Right.
No. That's saccomedyspot.com, by the way.
Yeah.
Add Sac Comedy Spot. See, I got it all. I know
It
everybody's
is.
everything.
Right.
All the time. I don't know your stuff.
Oh, mine is very simple. It's
Yeah.
just at Justine with 4 underscores after it.
See, you don't know that. You have to, like, copy and paste it. Otherwise,
you do.
you'll be wrong.
Yeah, you're like, oh, is it 3?
Yeah,
Is it 5? Is it
Is it-
6 underscores?
I don't know how many this is. Like it might work. A lot of files have like 18 zeros. I'm like, why?
Why did I do
how
this?
many zeros is this? 1, 2. Is I already count the
Right.
0? Why are there so many zeros in a row? Why are you doing
Yeah,
this to
that
me?
drives me crazy.
I think
those
I'm just
kinds
going
of
to change
things.
it to at Justine, and then it says 4 underscores spelled out. So people can really get it and follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel ours is pretty simple. We're at Jackrabbit Brewing Company.
No. Straight through.
Yeah.
A lot of typing, but it should auto-populate.
You
Yeah.
would think, yeah.
Except for when
I
your
hope-
phone's being a jerk and won't do it. You're like, I know it's in, just drop it down. And like,
True.
not going to do
No.
it.
Not
No.
today.
You
Not-
got to type the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then even then it's like, can't find it. Like, I know I'm right. And it's just a disaster. What do you guys got going on? What's your schedules like? What do you got? Any big events? You got any parties? You got any special releases? What's going on?
We always try to do stuff on Fridays. Like we do a karaoke night once a month and movie night once a month. That kind of thing. As far as big releases, we do some new can releases usually about once a month. But with this new year, we're trying to kind of rotate things differently. And we just haven't had the time to really sit down and figure out like exactly what that is going to be like. But yeah, we'll be having, some new, like I said, the 19.2 ounce cans coming out.
Yeah, it's Cowboys.
Actually, I think that's going to be the 2 weeks from now, give or take.
Perfect.
I'd have to look at my
weeks
calendar. I'd have to look at my calendar. I think we're canning the 20th.
There. Okay. So they'll be out around the time. This will be out on the 21st. So
okay, so right about the same time.
Killing it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Doing great work.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Good times.
Oh, I'll be out the 20th. I know what the dates are. 6th is Monday. 7th is Tuesday.
That is
20th.
right.
There we go.
The 20th is when it'll be out. So right in step
Perfect.
with each other. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got going, Justine? What do you got?
Let's see. I
Regularly.
Well, regularly. So, tomorrow starting, I co-run POC Improv Space. So it's a free workshop for people of color, and that happens every first Sunday of the month, which is tomorrow.
What time?
That will be 5 o'clock at our training center on 915 T Street. And then every Saturday is Anti-Cooperation League. It's an improv show. Every third Saturday is Lady Business, all-female improv troupe.
So funny.
So good if you've never seen Lady... Oh, and we're going our 10th year.
Speaking of... Has it been 10 years?
It's
Jesus.
2020 is year 10 for Lady Business.
That's awesome. And
Right.
I was mentioning the teachers. Forgot to point out Mel Gelbart.
Mel Gelbart. She is, yes.
Insanely good.
Yes,
Love
she
her.
was one of my first coaches on Herald Night and one of my mentors and best friends now. So shout out to Mel.
Yeah.
Right.
Going strong 20 years.
Oh man, 10 years, and that's 10 years for
of
Mel.
Lady Business. Yeah.
And which Mel,
who was the founder of
one of the founders
way back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, more early 2000s
Yeah,
than anything.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lady Business is going on year 10, I think in April would be.
Wow.
I think it's 10 years of Lady Business, and then Masters of Rap Improv is moving to third Fridays of the month at 8 o'clock. So
What is that? I haven't checked it out.
is-
I know
Yeah.
it's Corky's little baby.
No, it's not.
It's
It's not.
not.
It's my baby.
Oh.
It's half my baby. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Corky.
You have 1.5 babies.
I do. I have lots of babies. No, Corky used to be. He was one of the original cast members. But originally, Masters of Rap Improv was just me and Nick George. It was just a 2-person team.
Oh.
And so to describe the show, it's freestyle rap. And then we do improv scenes based on our freestyle rap.
Oh,
And
nice.
so that started off as a 2-person show as a cage match team. And then we got booked for an 8 p.m. slot. And so now we have a full cast, which is Nick George, Betsaida LeBron, Chris Emery, and Jordan Mata. Corky, former cast member.
There we go.
And then that's one of the shows. Improv and rap and what else? Improv Jazz. It's my 2-person show with Betsaida LeBron. We have our own 8 p.m. slot now at the
Nice.
Comedy Spot.
She's very funny.
She is hilarious. Yeah. And speaking of another teacher, bomb ass teacher is Betsaida. So we have our 2-person improv team, Improv Jazz. We have our own 8 p.m. slot. What is that? Second Saturdays at the Comedy Spot. So many shows.
So many
guys.
shows,
So
yeah.
It's a
many
lot of shows.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of shows.
A lot of shows to keep track of.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's second Saturdays. And then FemFest is coming up in March, which is our all-female kind of celebration of women in comedy. So I'll probably be in a couple shows then too. So just a lot of good things happening. And I also teach Improv 101. So if anyone wants to take an Improv 101 class, my next class starts January 23rd. So
Look at that. Right on time.
Right on time.
guys.
All of us doing things right at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
great.
Yeah, and you can follow Barley and Me across social media at Barley and Me Pod.
Yeah.
Got a new website, barleyandmepod.com. There's almost nothing there. I really am not designed to do websites. I'm like, I hate it. Nope. Anyway, it exists. Whatever. There's nothing there. You're already listening to the podcast. It's just going to be a link to the podcast. I don't know. You're already doing it.
Here's my website. Here's a link. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
A link and a meme.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I should put the meme on there. That's a good point. That's a good
You should.
Beer meme.
See, it's just, I don't know why people don't love it. Let's see, other things going on. I'll be at Art of Beer January 24th. Doing little mini episodes.
I'm going to try to be there that day as well.
Yeah, doing little mini recordings throughout the thing. You can still get tickets if you're listening to this the day of release, the day after release, the day after that, and the day after that. You can still get tickets 10% off using the promo code BARLEY10.
Ooh.
Oh, very cool.
BARLEY10. That is at artofbeerinvitational.com for tickets.
Nice.
I've been doing ads lately, and people seem to really hate them. So I'm just going to point out we're done with ads for a while. I
Available
don't
for
have
hire?
nobody needs advertisements. So I just put it at the end. You made it. You made the whole episode. You didn't get interrupted once by my obnoxious solo voice. So
Congrats.
good for you, listeners. Congratulations. Yeah. All right. I think we're... No?
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Just thanks for having me.
Don't be gross.
Yeah. Come on. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. And
yeah. So this has been episode 118 of Barley and me with Justine Lopez.
That's cool.
And Rob Moreno of Jackrabbit Brewing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you so much for listening. Get home safe.
Cheers.